Hello again, everybody. We are back in the test kitchen above Frontera Grill, and we are ready for a recipe challenge today. We have a special guest. Rick, why don't you introduce our special guest?
This is Paul Virant, one of the most impressive chefs in Chicago. Thank you very much for coming and playing with us here in the test kitchen above Frontera.
It's an honor.
Paul Virant is the chef at V in Western Springs and Perennial Virant down here in the city.
Yep.
And also the author of
Preservation Kitchen.
Yes.
It's all about preserving the season's bounty. You're a big pickle guy, right?
Yes.
I'm
The
a fan.
first time that I ever ate at your restaurant, I walked in and the host stand was completely framed in a beautiful array of products that you had put up.
Jars and I was instructed today because that was the first thing I was thinking about bringing as one of my ingredients. But Steve said if they can't buy it.
This
is so I didn't bring it.
Cheating.
Well, so explain the premise. So what is it?
Okay, so this is the idea. We would just like our listeners to have the opportunity to make something that we would make. And so we limit it beyond our main ingredient to 5 other ingredients. Maybe stuff that you would just have in your pantry or would be easily accessible in a grocery store. And then, we don't a lot of times have a lot of time to cook.
Right.
So could it be a dish that you could make in 15 minutes? So 5 ingredients in addition to our main ingredient, plus, your oil and salt and pepper stuff, and then 15 minutes to make it.
And our main ingredient.
I think it sounds like a great little challenge.
It is. And the main ingredient today is, drum roll, chickpeas.
Chickpeas,
so,
garbanzos.
Are you guys fans of chickpeas or garbanzos?
Huge fan.
Yeah?
You're a huge fan.
Yeah, I'm a
of them.
big fan.
I'm an okay fan of them.
Yeah.
They eat them in Mexico a lot of times, and I've got one here. When I eat it, it has a kind of mealy texture to it, and I like the creaminess of regular beans a little bit better. But they offer a different flavor, and that's what I want to capture in what I'm going to make today.
And I think of falafel, so let's get started.
Okay.
So really, what do you think?
I think chickpeas. Honestly, I think as far as like beans go, they're one of the more versatile in the world.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get started. Matt's got the clock over here. We're going to set 15 minutes on the clock.
Okay.
Ready, set, go.
15 minutes.
Begin.
Okay,
15
here we
minutes.
go.
Okay.
luck?
Yes, best
Best
of luck.
of luck. Yes.
Buena suerte.
Okay, buena suerte.
Oh, look at you.
Okay.
Yeah, how about
Double
that?
language. All right.
He is doing it.
So, Rick, let's start with you. What's your plan?
Okay, well, I'm going to go for the obvious. I'm going to make a quick falafel just because I love to eat them.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that too.
It's not really, there's something that I turn to a lot, but I really do like them a lot. And I'm going to do a little flavoring thing here with some lemon, and I'm just going to take some zest off of the lemon and put it into, about half of it, into the food processor there, and then a little bit of garlic and some parsley. I'm going to use it twice. I'm going to use it for a little yogurt dip, and then also to flavor my falafel.
And Paul, what's your strategy over there? I saw you just chop up some bacon a little bit.
I was thinking about some things that I think typically people have in their kitchen. If they don't, they should, which would be bacon, eggs, and Parmesan.
That's my kitchen.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then thinking about kind of the time of the year, I think about spinach. So I'm doing a spinach salad warm with the chickpeas, bacon vin that will dress with some lemon. And then I also brought some ramps, which is something that you either need to go out and forage on your own, or you'll have to go to a specialty market or something for that.
But if you didn't want to get ramps, you could go
But for me,
onions.
it's the first rite of spring.
It is.
So that's why I wanted to use it.
And we just got them after this worst winter ever.
Yes.
We just got them, so it means spring is coming here in Chicago.
But yeah, they have like a very kind of a garlicky leek taste to it.
So you put some bacon on the stove. What are you going to do now, Paul?
So I'm going to render the fat from the bacon. I'm going to get it nice and crisp. You can do it on the stovetop. I have it at about medium high heat. I like to start it on the stovetop and then in an oven. So I got an oven set at 400 degrees.
All right.
And when the bacon's crisp, then I'll add the ramps or onions if you're going to be using onions.
All right. Now, Rick, what are you doing? You're adding the chickpeas back into
Okay, so the first thing that I did here was to make this chopped or minced up mixture of the lemon rind, garlic, and parsley. All of that in the food processor. Took a little bit of it out, and then I'm going to stir that into some Greek yogurt. That'll be our little sauce there.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm going to now turn the food processor on again and just mix all of the chickpeas in with that chopped mixture.
I don't suppose you got any of this stuff from your trip to Turkey recently. I'm seeing a little bit of the yogurt thing and the spices, or no?
Actually, I fell in love with it.
Yeah?
I really fell in love with it because it's such an interesting cuisine of the way they balance things. It's unique. Yes, it's Middle Eastern, Mediterranean, sort of Greek-like, but I just fell in love with it, and I don't cook it very much, and I came back, started cooking it more.
Wow. Adding some spices now to the food processor?
Yeah, I'm just adding a little bit of cumin and some salt and some pepper into the food processor now.
Paul, it looks like your
good.
bacon is rendering. You put it in the oven now.
Bacon's
right?
in the oven.
Okay.
Right, so it'll you can do it on the stovetop, but it'll cook evenly in the oven.
Okay. And these are canned
Yeah,
chickpeas,
yeah,
right?
these are just canned.
Well, yeah, because if you start cooking them, they're going to take a really long time. If you start from the dry ones, you really need to soak them, and then you have to cook them for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
All right, so now you got this kind of a rough chop here, or is
Yeah, you just want to make sure that it'll hold together into little clumps. So I'm going to make some little patties out of it now, and then we'll start frying it. It actually makes, I have to say, it makes making falafel, when you can do it just like this, into something that's really more of like almost an everyday kind of dish. Of course, you got to heat oil to fry it with and everything, but
Are we on time, Matt? 9 minutes to go. 9 minutes to go, guys. 9
Okay.
minutes.
9
okay.
minutes.
I think
Okay,
we're going to make it.
So I'm adding my ramps to the bacon.
It smells so
I'm gonna wait on the tops because those are just
Yeah.
it'll cook
Smells
fast.
great.
And then I'm gonna
Smells
add
really good.
some chickpeas.
I'm in heaven.
Oh,
There's nothing better than any kind of cooked onion-like thing and bacon together.
you know, they
Yeah,
say
I-
when you sell a house, you should have cookies going in the oven. I say get some bacon going.
Yeah.
I
Some
do
bacon going.
too. Absolutely.
All right, so then I'll add the ramp tops in a few minutes.
So use the whole part of the ramp, which is cool.
Use the whole
right?
part.
Yeah.
Yep, use the whole part.
Now, for the
Right.
folks watching on our YouTube channel or on Facebook, I want them to see what you're doing, Rick. This is kind of important. You've got these balls of the mashed chickpea and the parsley and the lemon zest, but what are you doing with them?
Now I'm just making them into little pucks, basically. So they're about an inch and a half wide and a little over half an inch thick from top to bottom there. So you just want to make something that's manageable in the fryer.
See, and I would have thought
Those
when
look-
you said
those look
falafel, I
really
think
nice.
of balls.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
Okay, but
this
you like
is
a
just
puck.
easier to
right.
kind of work
I
with.
think
here.
you can. I mean, if you don't want to fry them, I think you can bake those too.
Oh, okay.
You-
I mean,
Really?
it isn't. It's not going to be as good.
Come on. Seriously going to bake that?
When you have the opportunity to fry it, wouldn't you? I mean,
That's
come
true.
on.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
see
And
what we're
what are you
doing
going to fry
here.
in?
Okay, I'm going to fry in some oil. Okay, so we work with this rice bran oil here, or sometimes I like to do the high heat safflower oil, and I got to get it up to 350. It's dropped a little bit below that now, and I always recommend to everyone, if you're going to fry anything at home, do it in a saucepan. Get a thermometer that you can actually tell what the temperature of the oil is. Don't be guessing. This kind of a thermometer is the best because you can use it in the oven and you could use it for oil and things like that. It won't get in the way, it won't fall off. So I really like the kinds that have the probes that are separate so that you can insert the probe into the oil or into the oven and you can keep the recording device separate from that.
That is really cool. Okay. Paul, what are you doing? You're sauteing now the tops of the ramp with the bacon.
Yes, I just added the tops to this. So this is just about done. I'm going to add a little salt and pepper to this
Okay.
mixture.
Meanwhile, Rick is coating their little falafel
Pucks.
pucks.
My falafel pucks.
Falafel pucks into, what is that?
Just flour.
Into flour.
Just a little
okay.
bit of flour.
All right.
Just to help them get a nice little crustiness on the exterior.
So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat for right now. We'll let that coast, and then I'm going to add the lemon, and then I'll toss that in the spinach, and I'm going to start the egg. I'm going to poach the egg.
Okay. How much time? 5 minutes remaining.
So I have a saucepan here. It's got some salt with you want to make sure you have enough water. Obviously, that's going to cover the egg. It's on like a medium-high heat. You can stir a spoon in there, and you make kind of a whirlpool effect. You do that first, and then crack the egg into the center of the pot.
Beautiful and classic.
And it should sort of hold the poached egg in one mass.
And where'd you learn this technique? When you worked for Joho or for somebody else in town? or?
Julia Childs.
Julia
no,
Child,
that's a
okay.
classic Julia
There
Child
you go.
technique. It's a
Yeah.
classic technique for doing that. Have you seen the Michael Ruhlman big spoon that allows that sort of sloppy part of the white to come off? It's a draining spoon so that you can drain
Interesting.
that little
No,
bit
I
of
haven't
white
seen that.
off of there so that you have these perfect little poached eggs when you cook them that way.
Okay, and you're squeezing the lemon juice now over the
Right
saute
into the
pan, yep.
yeah, right into the chickpeas with the bacon. So along with the fat from the bacon, now we have some acid. We've basically made a vinaigrette in the pan.
It looks like you're at 350-ish,
Yep.
352, okay.
Yep, let's go.
Oh wow, it looks good. It's really bubbling, so
bubbling
obviously your
nicely.
heat is at the right temperature.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Paul, what did you just do? You added your skillet into your...
Yes, I added the vinaigrette, which had the ramps and the bacon and the lemon juice, and the chickpeas into the spinach. So now I'm just tossing. I'm tossing the vinaigrette around the spinach to sort of wilt it a little bit.
Right, because the heat is going to wilt it down. Everybody doesn't realize when they have a whole bunch of
just-
spinach, it will get sort of wilted and
Yes, when
get
it's
smaller, right?
Yeah, and then that'll go. I'm gonna get my bowl here, and my egg is still poaching.
Rick just put his Greek yogurt with parsley into a little
It's
dish.
parsley, lemon, and garlic.
Okay, 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go.
3 minutes to go.
Well, how long, at 350, how long will it take these little pucks to cook, you think?
Just about 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
All right, so
I'm going to drain them on a paper towel. Oh, it looks really good, Paul.
yep, and then I'm gonna do. I'll do the egg right on the top, and then a generous amount of Parmesan.
Okay.
Will be
Now,
my finish.
I'm not counting, but were you at 5 or 6
Or
ingredients?
6 or 7 or 8 over there. I don't
What do
know.
you got the spinach,
You
you
know,
got
I'm-
the ramps, you
I'm-
got the
I may-
lemon, you got the bacon,
I may be at 6.
parm, and then maybe an egg might be 6, but that's okay.
That's okay. We'll give him.
I
the
can.
egg.
You know what? Here's the thing, Steve. I can go without the Parmesan, but it'll.
No, put it in.
That's all right.
Come
It's all
on.
right.
We all have it.
Because like
We
you
all
said, people are going to
it.
have parm in their refrigerator anyway.
Right.
Hopefully, right?
So we got about a minute left.
Poached egg. Still soft in the center. So that poached egg takes about 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the last thing you're going to do right before you serve it. Yep.
That's
well,
the
there it
last
goes right
thing.
on
So
top
that
of your
goes right
salad.
on
Look at
top.
that. Oh, that looks really good.
Yep. And then
You're charging like $14 at the restaurant for that.
yeah, at least.
At least.
Salt.
Under a minute. Rick
Parm-
is placing his pucks. Oh, you're placing the pucks on the plate, but yeah, Paul, what are you doing?
I'm just adding my Parmesan, which I'm using a microplane. You get nice little, fine little shreds of the cheese.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
Yeah, it's 5 seconds to go. Gentlemen, well done. 15 minutes. Bravo. Bravo.
That's pretty amazing there.
Wow, that
It's
looks
actually,
really good.
it almost works together.
It does.
You know,
It
like you have
does.
a
In
little
fact,
appetizer.
this is your
and
little
then-
appetizer, and then you go to your
and then a
main
composed
course
salad
there,
for a main course.
and you would be filled with lots of chickpeas.
We have forks.
Me
Break into
very
that
long to do
egg.
that.
Oh, yes.
Look at
There
this.
it is.
That's so
beautiful.
Nice. Ah, look. That's
at
so
You want
good.
that
Not
yolk?
bad.
Yes, you want that yolk runny
Yeah,
a
that-
little bit.
Well, because it's going to become part of the dressing then.
Right?
Yep. And it hasn't totally wilted down. I mean, the spinach, it's gently
Right.
wilted, right? It's not totally wilted like when I make
what I
sauteed
love.
spinach at home.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you want, I mean, in the case of
That's
a,
what I got.
of a salad, you want it to be sort of, I mean, you want it to still be, to have the greens raw.
I gotta get some chickpeas in
So
there.
just sort of half wilted.
Super delicious.
Wow, bacon vinaigrette,
Is that
brightness from the lemon, nice acidity, but there's that richness, the egg.
good? Right?
I love the taste of spring, the
Yes.
ramps, the green, spinach.
Anybody that can lay their hands on ramps,
Those are good.
that will
Yeah.
make that salad, which is just sort of the perfect sort of twist, I would guess, on that wilted spinach salad with bacon dressing. And then you got the egg in there and the chickpeas in there and the ramps. Good luck.
All right, I'm gonna try Rick's.
Okay.
I'm happy with that.
You're going to have to, I think you're going to have to use a fork
I'm
on
gonna
it.
need a fork. Sorry, guys. It's a little.
I want to get into the
apart. Yeah, I get
falafel.
that.
Actually, we should do a little squeeze on there, right?
Yeah,
Do a
but
little
here, you
lemon
know
squeeze.
what? It's not holding together as well as I wanted it to. So I'm going to set it
all right.
down there.
Okay, so if it didn't hold together, what would you do? Fry it a little longer?
Oh, no, I don't think I got him quite smooth enough in the food processor.
But you know what?
So I was working too fast, but the flavor's good.
Flavor's great. I'm gonna
Yeah.
squeeze a little bit of lemon on
Yes,
it just to
please.
brighten it a bit. But great. I like the texture. It's nice.
What was
I
in the
love it.
sauce again?
It's a yogurt. It's a Greek
Yogurt.
yogurt with parsley,
Parsley and lemon.
And garlic. The same flavorings that went into there.
Right.
I just did them in the food processor, and then I took some of it out and put it into the yogurt.
Delicious, guys.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually like that a lot because it's delicate, you know.
And here
but
you've
it's
got your
rich.
little appetizer and your little entree,
Right.
and you've got Tuesday night dinner.
You got
It's really
Fantastic.
good.
for sure. Pretty
All right.
nice Tuesday night dinner.
Wow,
Very nice,
really good.
Rick.
Paul
It's
Virant.
very tasty.
Paul Virant, thank you so much for coming by again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All the
It's an
information is going to be on
honor to be
Thanks
our
for playing in the kitchen with us.
all the
bet.
information is going to be on our
Anytime.
Facebook page. You're going to see the whole video, also on our YouTube channel, The Feed Podcast. Thanks again.